A family-owned power company's request to use a public boat launch at Centennial Park to load heavy equipment onto a barge has been denied. County commissioners expressed concerns over impacts to the public. I'm your Twin Falls neighborhood reporter Lori in Nettleton, and I was at the commission meeting where Pillar Power Project's request was denied. Both parties are calling it a reset.
I've heard from people who I believe I represent in this community who have asked me to deny this request.
Commissioners were unanimous in denying the Perrin family's request to make 10 barge transfers at Centennial Park over 2 years. Boating season is right around the corner, and anything that prevents the public from using the newly remodeled Centennial boat launch was a non-starter for them. The family says they need the heavy equipment to finish repairs on aging hydroelectric generators.
We want to address all their concerns, and essentially it's just a tabling saying, get us some more information.
Ray Perrin presented Pillar Power's plan to detach the floating docks, launch a barge, and front load up to 44,000 pounds of equipment and materials up to 10 times over 2 years. Perrin brought forth several supporting analyses from engineers who said LiDAR and ground-penetrating radar showed the concrete on the dock was 11 to 13 inches thick, with rebar reinforcements every 12 inches.
We're talking about a ramp that's been there for 35 years or better, and underneath of it it's still some unknown.
But as Commissioner Rocky Matthews said, not everyone was in agreement with those findings.
There was such a gap between the people that we had talked to versus the experts that they brought today. There's enough of a gap there that still plays into it.
As we reported last week, the Perrin family feared they would have to close public access to Pillar Falls over their private property if the request was not approved. Commissioner Brent Reinke questioned this approach.
In other words, if we don't agree with this this morning, you're going to close the trail.
How
do you understand that? If we're going to be a partnership here, how is that a partnership?
Perrin said the public access to Pillar Falls was not a leverage, but a fact. Without an approval to use the boat launch, Pillar Power Project would go bankrupt and they will no longer be able to afford liability insurance. The commission ultimately denied the request unanimously and invited Pillar Power Project to return with more details to start the process fresh.
You know, overall, I think I'm happy with it. We would have liked it to have been over today, but I don't think it's a negative decision. I think it's a move in the right direction of making a partnership.
Pillar Power Project said they plan to submit a new request within weeks. I'm your Twin Falls neighborhood reporter Lori in Nettleton, Idaho News 6.